Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Said Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may like it as well. Also, if you have time, drop us a comment in the comment section because I love reading your comments. So today, I'm going to tell you something very important. I'm going to tell you 5 things that every Aquarius must know. Okay? If you're an Aquarius, you must know these 5 things. Most of you might know them already. But just in case, I wanted to make sure I put it out there in this video. Some of you may need to tell this to another Aquarius. So pass them on this video and tell them I said check it out. Because they must know these things. Okay? Number 1. The number 1 thing that every Aquarius must know is that it is okay to be your odd, eccentric, quirky, weird self. And this is not to say that every Aquarius is this way, but most of us, almost all of us, have this side to us in the very least. Some of us are this way all the time, like me. But the bottom line is that Aquarius, you are supposed to be different. You didn't come to be like everybody else. That's not your mission. The mission of the Aquarius is to be the trendsetter. Okay? You're supposed to set the trends. You're supposed to be in the future with what's coming next. So people are looking at you like you crazy because they don't know what you got going on because it hasn't happened yet. The future hasn't come yet. You usher in a new age. You don't follow everybody else. Everybody else follow you. Okay? You are the Aquarius. So be your quirky, weird, wild, creative, eccentric self because that's who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to usher in the newness. Okay? When you try to be like everybody else or follow the status quo, first of all, you look funny. Everybody can tell that you're faking, number 1. And number 2, you're not bringing forward your mission as the Aquarius. You're supposed to be the truth seeker, number 1, and the water bearer. Okay? And the water bearer being the overwhelmingly large, part of our mission. And what does it mean to bear water? Water is about wisdom. Okay? Water is about growth. So you're supposed to bring the water. You're supposed to bring the newness. You're supposed to bring your Aquarius. All the stuff that Aquarius is packed with, that futuristic kind of stuff. That's what you're supposed to be bringing. You're not supposed to be following the crowd. The crowd's supposed to be following you. So be eccentric, be wild, be weird. Do that. I'm looking behind the thing so I can look at my list because it's on the computer. The second one here says, needing space is normal. Every Aquarius needs to know that because every Aquarius that I talk to at some point in time is made to feel bad by other people when they need space. It's normal to need space. Now, I know that everybody doesn't need as much space as we do, but that's normal for our sign. Our sign is a sign that needs space. So know that that's normal and it's okay. And when you need space, take it. But my thing to you is when you need space, speak on it. Don't just disappear unless you have good reason. Don't just disappear. Tell your loved ones, I need some space. I'll be back. Tell them. I didn't say ask permission. I didn't say, because some people will be like, well, I tell them and then they keep bothering me or they won't let me. Nah, I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm out. I'll be back. That's it. I'm not trying to hear none of that rap. So that way, at least they can't say, oh, the Aquarius disappeared and the Aquarius could have been dead. People could be seriously worried about us because we do just ghost. So if you need space, say you need space and then go take your space. Okay? It's normal. It's okay. But so many of us are made to feel like it's not. So we do come to this space where we just wait till we're fed up and just kind of do it. And all I'm saying is that there's a better way to do that. Okay. Number 3, communication is an important skill that can be learned. Okay. This is important for many of my Aquarius. Of course, again, none of these are going to apply to all Aquarius, but most of us. And why is this important to Aquarius? Because many Aquarius have a problem with communication. Many of us have a problem communicating our feelings. We can communicate complex ideas. Some of us are teachers. Some of us can communicate. People always tell me I'm good with my words. Some of us can communicate on that level. But when it comes to communicating our thoughts and our feelings on an internal level, especially if something hurts, we're not always the best with that. And that's okay. So communicating that kind of thing is a skill. We did the first book we did here at Ask an Aquarius for our live discussions was called Being Me, Loving You by Marshall Rosenberg. The point of that book was nonviolent communication. The point was to give you some tips and tricks on how to, and it's not even tips and tricks really, I shouldn't call it that, it's really a whole communication system. So it's actually a little bit more expansive than that. But the idea is to show you how to communicate with your loved ones. So Aquarius, that means that there are books, there are workshops, there are seminars, there's factual, logical information, and we love researching, we love reading, we love knowledge. There's knowledge out there that can help you be a more effective communicator. So all you have to do is take the time to care about it and find out how. Read some of those books on nonviolent communication. There's a whole bunch of them. That's just the one that we read. Marshall has written several books. And there are probably other communication techniques out there too. So my thing to you is learn the skill. It's a skill. Learn it. 4, emotional intelligence will set you free. I said that one because Aquarius, or a lot of us, have very deep feelings. I know for me, having a fire moon, my feelings are intense. My passion, my enthusiasm, my anger, my happiness, my sorrow, whatever I have, I feel it intensely. And for a long time, it was problematic because I was afraid to feel. Our feelings are so strong. I'll be afraid to feel them, afraid to go through it. If it was happiness or good things, then fine, I could deal with that. Sometimes I did feel a little manic though. When I was happy, I would feel kind of manic. But I didn't like dealing with the bad ones. So I was less likely to soul search and to take accountability or to look at myself because I didn't want to feel bad or, deal with bad emotions, anger, negativity, things like that. So emotional intelligence is something that many Aquarius struggle with. But again, just like with the communication part, this is something that you can teach yourself. You can do therapy. You can do therapeutic lessons. You can do spiritual lessons that are extremely therapeutic in a lot of cases. You can do those kinds of things. They're out there. Iyanla Van Zandt, Eckhart Tolle, Louise L. Hay. These are just a few people who that's their specialty, that's their forte, And there's other people you probably know that are into the emotional intelligence game. Tell us in the comments section if you know any ways of doing any of these things that I didn't mention, or if you know other authors, please throw them in the comments section for those of us who want to take a look at them. So emotional intelligence is something that you can develop. You might not be great at it today, but you can be great at it tomorrow. So remember that that's not something that has to evade you, Aquarius. You can brush up and teach yourself about that if you really care. And the last one, number 5, it says perfection is a myth. Don't let people make you feel like you have to be perfect. Okay, that's number 1, because some of the people around us were constantly pressuring us to be their version of perfect. Perfection is a myth. There's no such thing as perfection. So if people are trying to change you, they're trying to change you to their vision, their version of a perfect you. And that version might not be a bad idea. They might have some great ideas for you, but they don't get to decide who's the perfect you. You do. You can take people's suggestions or their information, but nobody gets to make that determination except for you. On the flip of that, because Aquarius are extremely idealistic, we are some we some idealistic mugs, man. And because Aquarius is so idealistic, sometimes we expect people and things to be perfect, or our version of perfect at the very least. And like I said, perfection is a myth. So a person is never going to be perfect. Even the person you like is not going to be your version or any version of perfect, because perfect doesn't exist. And like I said, we're so idealistic. We want things to be our version of perfect. And that's not reality. That's just not life. So you can go for someone or some situation that's compatible with you. You can find that. You can find a wife that's compatible, a husband, a job. You can find something that's compatible, but nothing's ever going to be perfect. So if you can accept that perfection is a myth, you won't get caught up in self-hatred, and you won't get caught up in looking at other people and other situations and other things with an idealistic lens. Because that idealistic lens gets our feelings hurt, it gets our bubbles burst. And when we finally realize and we take off the rosily colored glasses and see what's really good, a lot of times we're very disappointed, disenchanted, upset, pissed, angry, a myriad of different things. So if you can remember that nothing and nobody, including you, is perfect, then that's going to help you a lot with that little idealism problem, that little idealistic problem. Okay. All right, Aquarius, those are the 5 things that you had to know. I had to make sure that my Aquarius knew those things, especially my younger Aquarius who are trying to figure themselves out. Okay. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you would like a reading, please email me and I will be so happy to give you an appointment. Likewise, all of my information will be underneath this video. So if you would like to contact me, you most certainly can. I have the contest going on for the free reading, the free 60-minute reading, and my Patreon page, the link to it is underneath this video as well. So if you want to win the contest, go to Patreon, sign up to be a patron, and on November 2nd, I am going to choose at random the winner. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you for coming, and come back tomorrow because I have a lot more to say. Oh, and Jim, again, thanks for Barack. I love my new beau Chuckle. He has the coolest name, so I'm just gonna call him Barack. I love Barack. Thanks, Jim. See you later, guys.